はい、皆さん、こんばんは、Vince です。Hello everyone, good evening. This is Vince. 本日ですね、今回ご紹介するのは、また文法に関する話題についてお話ししていきたいと思います。For today, again, what I would like to introduce to you is another grammar-related topic. 皆さん、正確に言うと、また中級レベルっぽいの文法話題についてお話ししていきたいと思います。Specifically, what I would like to discuss is another intermediate level grammar related topic. 皆さん、ところでもしよろしければチャンネル登録お願いします。それからいいねボタンを押してシェアしても最後まで見てもらってお願いします。And if I could request, if you could please subscribe to my channel and give good impressions by pressing the like button and share my videos. Excuse me. Sorry. すみません。And please help me grow this channel. それでは皆さん、早速始めていきましょう。それでは皆さん、早速始めていきましょう。Very well then, let's begin, everyone. So, we are now through with our very long saga of the form of a verb. Well, we all know those form of a verb. And the key learning point there is knowing that the te form of a verb means that someone te form of a verb is being in the state of that verb. So that's the learning key point. Anyway, that's the previous saga. We are now on a new saga here, minasan, and this topic of potential form of a verb will be divided into 3 parts. Today is the Konkai. This time around, this topic would be about the basic knowledge, basic introduction about the potential form of a verb, or in Japanese, kano seikei, potential form of a verb. Doshi no kano seikei, verb's potential form. So let's start with the proper mind setting when it comes to potential form of a verb. Let me give you this very nice caricature here. Did anyone or did somebody tell you that you've got some potential? Say you've told your student or you told your friend, man, you've got potential, or you're telling to your colleagues, this person has a potential. Just like here, looks like a parable, or rather fable, looks like a fable of a cat. My physics teacher said I had potential. And meaning potential, what is potential? Being able to do, having the capability, being able to do, can do something, or having the potential, possessing the capabilities to do something, being able to do, and can do a thing. You can do a thing, just like in English modals, can. The equivalent in English grammar is the modals. Specifically, can, the modals can, C-A-N, can. So that's the potential. You could and you can do something, and you are capable of something, and you are able to do something. So going back to our main reference here, minasan. We are now on the potential form of a verb, part 1, because in part 2 and part 3 we will extend more clarifications and other seemingly confusing and exemptions rule and more clarity with potential form. So these are the basics, minasan. I would like to introduce to you potential form of a verb, or the potential form conjugation of a verb. So, sorry. In Japanese, the ability to do a certain action. Take note of this, minasan. And I have highlighted in yellow can and able to do. In Japanese, the ability to do a certain action, or the state of having the ability to do a certain action, is expressed by conjugating the verb. Conjugating a verb rather than adding a word such as can. In English grammar, you have the modals can, or perhaps you will use the phrase able to in English. But here in Japanese, all verbs are conjugated into its potential form. And then upon the process of conjugation to potential form, the resulting word readily becomes, remember this, minasan, all results of potential form conjugation of the verb, the result of it has a net effect that the verb is now a ru verb or an ichidan verb. And take note, the an ichidan verb or ru verb also can be further be conjugated by following the rules of conjugation for an ichidan verb or ru verb. So let's further dig into this topic, potential form. And we have the vocabulary here, and you can see ru verb again are ichidan verbs, and yu verbs are godan verbs. We have previous lessons with regard to ru verbs and godan, ru verbs ichidan verbs, and yu verbs godan verbs. So if I could just ask you, minasan, to please just screenshot this part, this vocabulary, so that we can somehow save time here. And you can see here the one enclosed in square brackets, those are the, here in square brackets, those are the readings indicated in kana writing. So just like here, asubu, and dekiru. Remember, dekiru means to be able to do. And please screenshot this, minasan, so that we can save time. Okay, dekiru, please just screenshot this, minasan. And remember, taberu is also an ichidan verb meaning to eat. Kiru, wear. Shinjiru, verb. Neru, sleep. And please screenshot this, minasan. Okay, screenshot this part, minasan. If you could just screenshot this. And again, those few verbs are actually godan verbs in other textbooks. Okay, please just screenshot this, minasan. So many vocabularies here, or rather terms. And just like here, konsumats this weekend, konsumats, because shumats is weekend, and konsumats this weekend. Zannen na adjective, unfortunately. And the iku, and mo is a transitional device, technically an adverb. Mo mean already mo, and mo is rather pronounced in prolonged manner, mo. Okay, so once again, minasan, let me just reiterate this once again. The conjugation rules, where we have been dealing with conjugation rules for quite some time, and we all know that they are split. When it comes to rules about conjugation of verbs, it is categorized in three major groups: ru verbs or ichidan verbs, yu verbs or godan verbs, and those exception verbs. What are the exception verbs again? The suru, meaning to do, and kuru, meaning to come. However, minasan, the potential form of the verb suru, meaning to do, well, we have a special rule for suru. the potential form of suru, this is exception, it becomes dekiru, dekiru, dekiru. And the kanji okurigana way of writing dekiru is here, dekiru. So we have a cheat sheet here. If you can also screenshot this, minasan. Rules for creating the potential form of a verb. Okay, for ru verbs, remember this, minasan. This is the critical part. For ru verbs or ichidan verbs, drop the ru, and replace it with rareru. Drop the ru, that's probably on the rightmost part of the word. Drop the ru and replace it with rareru. Example, miru. Miru becomes mirareru. Mirareru. For yu verbs or godan verbs, this is quite tricky, minasan. Change the last character, because in the dictionary form of yu verbs, usually the yu verbs or godan verbs, its dictionary form or simple form is in yu sounds, like cow, or let's say cow or kaku, or hanasu. So the rightmost part, which is usually the yu verb sound, or rather the yu sound, change the last character from a yu sound to its equivalent e sound, not e. Okay, for godan verbs or yu verbs, change the last character or last syllable from its yu sound to its equivalent e sound. And then after that, when you change the yu sound to e sound, finally add ru. And remember, minasan, once you conjugated the yu verbs or godan verbs to its potential form, the end product readily becomes another word, and it is technically, as a verb, it is now an ichidan verb or ru verb. Just like here, minasan, let's take this example, asubu. Asubu is play. Asubu. So what is again the rule? The yu sound be transformed to e sound. So asubu becomes asobe. What is the e counterpart of bu? What is the e sound counterpart of bu? Be. So asubu becomes asobe. Asubu becomes asobe. Then finally add ru. So asubu becomes asobe. Finally add ru, asoberu. So that's the say you can play here. Koko de asoberu. Okay. Now we have the exception verbs. So for the exception verbs, the suru becomes dekiru. Suru becomes dekiru. For kuru, meaning to come, becomes korareru. Kuru becomes korareru. And remember, minasan, this is very important. Remember that all verbs being converted to its potential form all verbs conjugated to its potential form readily becomes ru verbs, or the end product becomes ru verbs or ichidan verbs. Okay, so that's a very important rule to remember. Okay. Oh, sorry. So, minasan, this is the kanji okurigana written form for kuru. If you want to write it in the combination of kanji and kana, kuru. This is the kanji for kuru. And the okurigana is ru. And so its potential form is korareru. So as you can see, the rule number 2, you cannot apply the rule for ichidan, and you cannot apply rule for godan, but rather the verb kuru has a special rule. The kuru becomes korareru, meaning able to come or can come. Okay, so Again, minasan, let's do a recap here. Let's do a recap. Oh, sorry. Sorry about that. Let's do a recap here, minasan. Rule verbs or ichidan verbs. Rule verbs or ichidan verbs in this textbook. Yeah, rule verbs in this textbook is the same as the ichidan verbs in other references. So far, I will give you a recap of so far what we have achieved when it comes to basic conjugations for a rule verb or ichidan verb. And I will be focusing on the rightmost part, the ru. So, if you want to have a negative, contracted negative form, non-past tense negative form, nai, say, nai form, drop the ru. If you want to do a nai form for an ichidan verb or rule verb, nai form is the negative form non-past tense. Drop the ru and add nai. For mas form, drop the ru and add mas. Okay, for masen form, masen is the formal negative form non-past tense of rule verbs or ichidan verbs. Drop the ru, then add masen. For the contracted non-formal negative past tense of ichidan verbs, the nakata form, drop the ru, then add nakata, say tabe nakata. For the masendeshita, what is this masendeshita? This is the formal form of the nakata. So masendeshita is the negative form past tense of an ichidan verb or rule verb. So drop the ru, then add masendeshita. Let's say didn't eat, tabe masendeshita. Okay, so minasan, here another important cheat sheet that you need to remember, or at least screenshot. So we have examples here, minasan. Sample ru verbs or sample ichidan verbs, sample yu verbs or sample godan verbs. And we have the exception verbs. Okay, so in the left column you can see the plain form or dictionary form. The plain form or dictionary form in the left column. And you can see taberu, taberareru, kiru, kirareru, shinjiru, shinjirareru, neru, nerareru, so on and so forth. And you can see the pattern because just focus on the orange font. Focus on the orange font and you can see the pattern or the rule. Here in godan verbs or yu verbs, again, left column is the plain form or dictionary form. Hanasu, hanaseru. Nihongo wo hanasemasu. Let's say, can you speak Japanese? Hai, Nihongo wo hanasemasu. I can speak Japanese. Nihongo wo hanasemasu. Or, can you write this? Can you write kanji? Kanji wo kakeru. Kaku, kakeru. Kakeru, able to write. Kanji wo kakeru. Okay, asobu, asoberu. Mats meaning wait. Matteru. Matteru, or I cannot wait. Mattenai. See? Mats is wait. The potential form of mats, matteru, because the e sound counterpart of tsu here is te. So mats becomes matteru, able to wait. But if you cannot wait, mattenai, mattenai. Yomu, yomeru. Say, can you drink sake? I cannot drink sake. Atashi sake wo nomenai. Let's say, can you drink beer? Biru wo ikaga desu ka? And then you will reply, yes, I can drink beer. Biru wa nomeru. Biru wa nomeru. Toru, toreru. So you can see, minasan, just focus on the orange font here, orange colored part here, the orange colored part. Okay, kao kaeru. Kao meaning by, kaeru. Okay, exception verbs. Suru becomes dekiru. Kuru becomes korareru. Okay. So minasan, I sometimes this is just for the purpose of listening to common Japanese people, because as I have said, many people in Japan, especially the native ones, has a tendency of abbreviating words. And sometimes, although we have a rule here for ichidan verbs that drop the ru and add rareru, sometimes you may hear them saying not rareru, but it will be abbreviated to reru. It is possible that you can hear them adding just reru instead of rareru. But I encourage you minasan to get used to the rareru instead of reru. Although I've just presented it here so that whenever you can hear a native speaker, Japanese native speaker, you will not get shocked when he or she didn't include the ra, or when that native speaker didn't include the ra in the rareru and just contracted it to reru. So I just indicated here, but please be used to the formal way, drop the ru and add rareru for ichidan verbs. Okay, so I suggest learning the official rareru after dropping the ru for ichidan verbs. So we have examples here. Okay, we have examples here. Many people learn by examples, so let's learn by examples. I will first read the English. Can you write kanji? Can you write kanji? So let's translate that question into Japanese. Kanji wa kakemasu ka? Kanji wa kakemasu ka? Can you write kanji? Kanji wa kakemasu ka? And then, it's unfortunate but can't go this weekend. It's unfortunate but can't go this weekend. Zannen da nga konshumatsu wa ikenai. And again, minasan, whenever you see the wa particle, they say this is the topic particle, but the translation here, but to add to that, aside from being a topic particle, the wa means as for. They say konshumatsu is this weekend. Konshumatsu wa as for this weekend. So that's how you interpret the blah 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 wa. So as for blah blah blah. Just like here, konshumatsu wa ikenai. Konshumatsu wa ikenai. As for this weekend, because you have the wa here, as for this weekend, cannot go. Zanen da nga konshumatsu wa ikenai. It's unfortunate but can't go this weekend. And here, mo shinjirarenai. Mo shinjirarenai. I can't believe it already. The mo is like it can mean already, and it can also be an interjection reaction of oh come on please, that the mo, aside from having the English translation of already, it can also be a sigh interjection expression, meaning you have some sort of exasperation, a bit of exasperation. Mo shinjirarenai. So say mo, I have enough already. Mo, and here the mo here just literally means already. Mo shinjirarenai. Shinjirarenai means someone can't believe it. The speaker, the one who speaks shinjirarenai, means he or she cannot believe it, or he or she wants to express that's unbelievable, or he or she can't believe it. So minasan, as for last part of our lesson, for greater appreciation, I would like to introduce to you a review of what we have made so far for the conjugation of ichidan verbs or ru verbs, and I have it I have this, for example, taberu. Taberu is the dictionary form or plain form. Taberu means to eat. It is a transitive verb. It is a transitive verb meaning to eat. Taberu. And you can see the conjugation. And the right side part is the mass form or formal form. For present or immediate future, this is present or immediate future. Imminent future, immediate future. Taberu, tabemasu. Tabenai, what is the formal form of tabenai? Tabemasen. For past tense, tabeta. Formal form, tabemashita. And then for the te form, the same as the contracted past tense, just change the ta to te, tabete. Well, here, te form in mass form, tabemashite, tabemashite. Tabenai de, for the te form, tabenai de, meaning negative for the te form, tabemasen de. Tabenakte, adverbal use. Tabenakte is, of course, you will use tabenai and drop the e, replace it with kutte. When you do that, tabenakte, it specifies cause or reason and it is acting in adverbial form. And we have here, minasan, the progressive form or enduring state of a verb. We already have a lesson with regard to progressive tense and enduring state of a verb. Tabeteiru. Okay. Conjugate to te form, then add iru. For mass form, conjugate to te form and add imas. So tabeteiru, tabeteimasu. Currently in the state of eat. Currently existing in the state of eat. Okay. For potential form, potential conjugation, taberareru, can be eaten. Taberareru, can be eaten. Let's say mushrooms. Taberareru. Taberaremasu for the mass form. Taberarenai, let's say the silicone gel inside the bottle. That thing cannot be eaten. The silicone desiccant in a jar cannot be eaten. That is taberarenai. Taberaremasen. For the mass form or formal form of taberarenai, taberaremasen. Okay, so that's it, minasan. So we've reached the last part of our lesson for today, and I thank you for watching until the last part of this lesson, and I thank you for always supporting my channel, and please help me grow more subscribers and spread my lessons, minasan. This is the last part, minasan. それでは皆さん、ということでレッスンの最終ポイントなんです。レッスンはもう終了なんです。This is the last part, 皆さん。今日はここまでです、皆さん。皆さん、最後までご覧いただきありがとうございました。最後まで見てくれて本当にありがとうございました。Thank you for watching until the end, and I'll see you in the next lesson, 皆さん。I'll see you in the next video, in the next lesson. それでは皆さん、また次の動画でお会いしましょう。それでは皆さん、ありがとう。Thank you very much. Bye bye.